real estate investor or an investor of any kind, you're going to want to watch this video all the way through, and beware, because March of 2023, President Joe Biden released his annual budget proposal where he outlined his fiscal priorities and where he basically said, if you are wealthy or an investor of any kind, I basically hate you and want to double your taxes. Now, they're actually calling this a tax the rich budget. Now, just to clarify, this is his proposal, his wish list. They actually call this a messaging proposal, where he knows this is not going to get done, but he basically says, listen, if I had it my way, this is what I'd like to see done. Now, luckily, this still has to go through the legislative process and has to go through Congress, and a lot of this is not going to happen. But wait till you see the things included where in some cases taxes are doubled. Now, this is not a political video. This is an investing video, and there is no way, though, to get around the fact that if this is implemented in any way, shape, or form, that it is going to directly impact investors, specifically real estate investing. Now, I went through the entire proposal and just pulled out the ones specifically pertaining to real estate investing, and I would love to get your thoughts on this in the comments down below, especially if you're an investor. What do you think about these? Let me know what you think. Now, also, maybe you're not an investor yet, but you're an aspiring real estate investor. I've got something special for you at the end here as well. Let's start with capital gains. So the budget proposal would increase capital gains from its current 20% up to 39.6%. So they want to double the capital gains for people earning $1 million or more to equalize the taxation of investment and wage income. So they basically want to add in an entirely new tax bracket for millionaires where they want to double your capital gains tax. Now take a look. Here's the current 2023 long-term capital gains tax. Just to clarify, this is not for house flippers. This is for any long-term capital gains. So let's say that you've had a rental property for 10 years and you decide it's time to sell it, and you had a good year and you made over $1 million, or maybe you sell it and you make a profit of like $1 million. Well, they want to take about 40% of that. Now, the current rates, if you make $44,000 a year or less, you get hit with zero capital gains. So 44 to 492,000, you got to pay 15% capital gains, and anything over that, 20%. Now, they want to add in a new bracket for millionaires where they would pay 39.6%, but it's actually worse than that. Take a look at this. In this proposal, Biden also wants to increase the Obamacare tax from 3.8% to 5% for those earning over $400,000 a year, and this is to help shore up funds for the Medicare Trust Fund. So that would mean that the richest taxpayers, they would pay 44.6% federal rates on their investment incomes and other earnings. Now you might be thinking, well, I don't make $1 million. That's not going to be impacting me. Well, wait, we've got more. Now the budget proposal would eliminate a tax break known as like-kind exchanges or 1031 exchanges, which allows investors to avoid paying taxes on the proceeds of a property sale if they reinvest those profits into real estate. Now, this tax break currently is only available to real estate investors, but President Joe Biden is saying, no, we want to end the 1031 exchange. So typically, they want to encourage investors to stimulate the economy. So if you sell a property, you pull your money out, they will allow you to put it into a 1031 exchange account, give you a limited amount of time to reinvest it back into a property to help re-stimulate the economy, circulate the flow of money, and you don't have to pay taxes on the gains. But now President Joe Biden is saying, no, 1031 exchanges, we want to end it, and you have to pay taxes regardless of if you reinvest or not. Now the plan also calls for taxing assets when an owner dies, ending the current tax benefit that allows unrealized appreciation to go untaxed when transferred to an heir. So the way that the laws currently are written, they encourage the wealthy to hold on to their assets until they die, at which point the gains escape income tax permanently. So let's just say that your parents bought a house back in 1980 for $100,000. Today it's worth $1 million, and they pass away and you're the heir of that property. Now that property appreciated $900,000, but if you haven't sold it, you haven't realized the gains, you don't have to pay taxes on it. But now they're saying, no, the death itself would be a transaction, and even though the $900,000 is in the property and you haven't gotten any money for it, you have to pay taxes on that $900,000, which man, that would probably force the hands of a lot of heirs to have to sell the property, because unless they've got a pile of cash sitting somewhere, how are they going to be able to pay off those taxes? Or maybe they don't even want to. So this would directly impact those that pass away and the heirs receiving these assets. Now, these are just a few of several tax proposals that were released by President Joe Biden against the wealthiest among us and investors, but these ones pertain specifically to real estate investing. And if you're a real estate investor, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you think that there's a way that we could modify these to make them work? Are they too extreme and we should get rid of them altogether? And we have heard a lot from President Joe Biden and Congress talking about the wealthiest among us should pay their fair share, which then raises the question, what exactly is the fair share? And a lot of these business owners, the wealthiest among us, investors, they provide jobs, they provide goods and services, they help stimulate the economy. And as a result, our tax codes are set up in a way to actually benefit them and incentivize them to do so. And now we're saying we want to tax them for doing this. What is the fair share? Should they be taxed maybe a little bit more? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, in addition to that, if you're interested in becoming a real estate investor, you haven't made the jump just quite yet, I've got a link in the description below for you for a free one-on-one consultation call to join a network of real estate investors doing big things, the wealthy investors all over the nation. So if you're interested, that's available to you. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.